All right, folks. Looks like we are ready to go. We're up with SluckySeven doing carry Anypercent of Castlevania Legacy of Darkness.
All right. Welcome to Castlevania Legacy of Darkness. I'm SluckySeven, and on the couch we have...
I'm Carcinogen SDA.
I'm Metalama.
I'm Swordsman Kirby.
And so the first thing you'll notice is it's very similar to CB64, Castlevania 64. We've got 4 characters instead of just the usual 2. It's been updated, physics are different, and it's actually a very different run. So if you've seen that run, you're in for a bit of a treat.
We
Ready for timer? Yep. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so the first stage we have is Foggy Lake, and it's actually like one of the more technical stages in the entire run. Right off, I'm already using a technique called Orb Melee, which consists of me using an energy orb that I normally fire, but you can actually use the melee and it'll discharge on the enemy. But there's lots of movement here. So normally in a normal playthrough, you're supposed to move these masts and rotate them. And instead, we're just going to do some tight jumps and skip those. If you see me fire random orbs like that, it's there's lots of like ghosts in this level, and they kind of just move all over the place. So if you get a chance, it's good to snipe them.
Do they spawn in similar places?
Their spawns are actually completely random.
Oh, okay.
So you kind of have to pay attention to them. They usually don't get in the way, but sometimes they can be like super trolly. So some basics, you'll see I picked up an axe, you'll see in the top right corner, and it has a 1 next to it. So unlike CV64, sub-weapons have levels, just like your main power-up, and we also have level 2 power-up to start out. And the thing below the sub-weapon, you'll see looks like the red jewels. That's my sub-weapon ammo. So basically that's how my sub-weapons I can fire. So this is the first instance of Orc Spam. You'll see me just like firing orbs. So if you press the B button, which is your orb button, and release it on the same frame, you'll fire a fully charged orb. Also, that guy just spawned really quick. So lizards are supposed to have like a death animation if they fall on their back. But if you hit them with enough damage and they fall on their belly, and you also kill them at the same time, they despawn quicker. And that's really good for that because that cutscene doesn't start into this next segment until all the lizards are despawned.
It's one of my least favorite things in speedruns is waiting for death animations.
Yeah.
Trigger on death animation.
So minus that cutscene that we just watched that was pretty much just black, every cutscene in the game is completely skippable. So we had to wait for that one. Besides that, we'll be skipping every other cutscene. This is the first boss. This is Serpent. And I'm going to try to kill it in one cycle. I'm going to try to get him before he goes underwater.
So when he's further away, you're hitting him with the level 2 axes.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that was actually
Nice
really
job.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those level 2 axes that I'm throwing, if you throw them at the right angle, it'll actually hit Serpent multiple times. Allows me to get that kill a little bit quicker. So pretty basic so far, going through forests. Forest of Silence a little different than it is in Castlevania 64. So something that's there's not a whole lot of RNG in this game. Everything's typically on a cycle of some sort. The one thing that you are going to see starts in Forest of Silence. There's a cutscene later on that only happens from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. You can see like the in-game timer in the top left corner. And in order to set that up, I need to find a moon card. Unfortunately, there's no set moon card. So I'm going to do 3 attempts to open up a coffin, and hopefully one will spawn. If not, then we've got some backup strats we can do. But for the most part, that's the only major part of RNG in this run. Also, this is the giant skeleton that we like to refer to as Bone Mom. It's a pretty easy fight. 2 orbs each phase, and there's 5 phases total. you do it quick enough, then so when the skeleton's like slamming the ground, it's trying to spawn skeletons, and those cause lag. So you try to get both hits before it does that. And so far, we've actually gotten every single one.
So you can't fast forward the phase until it starts slamming the ground with the bone club, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Ah, spawned one. Close. All right. So now I'm going to view up, because if I don't view up into like first-person view, the camera will take me towards kind of like where the skeleton's looking. So it allows me to do a straight jump as soon as I can across that bridge. Also, this is a lever, and it's supposed to be activated from the other side, but because Carrie's so short, she can actually activate the hitbox from the opposite side.
So the hitbox extends behind the actual handle?
Yeah, just a little bit.
The much more ceremonious power-up animation.
This is one of 2 safety saves I'm going to make, and this one just because it's super early. And if I miss this jump, it's bad juju. I have to start all over and forced with no power-ups. So death is kind of scary in this game.
So your power-ups actually, they stay in Legacy of Darkness whenever you reload from a save.
But if you die, then you lose all your power-ups and all your sub-weapon level, which makes boss fights kind of really bad. All right, here's the first major skip. All right, we got it.
Nice.
Oh, you still took damage from that.
Yeah, you take damage, but you take less than if you were to like land on the platform below. So basically, it's a really specific angle from a specific point, and you can jump all the way across. And that skips having to activate another gate and go through a tunnel.
Right. Yeah, the original CV64, you could just grab the ledge and not really take damage from it. But it looks like in this one, you stub your toe on the ledge, you lose like half your health.
Yeah.
On the way down.
All right, so that was a boss. He didn't live too well. So I now have level 3 axes, and we never use holy water or any other sub-weapons because level 3 axes are incredibly overpowered. So what I was talking about earlier about farming the moon card, that's what we're going to do right now. And none first try. So basically those coffins have a chance to either spawn 3 items or a skeleton. And if it spawns items, there's a pool of pretty much every sub-weapon, so I think there's 5 or 6. It can spawn 3 different size money bags or a sun or a moon card. So the chances of actually getting a moon card are pretty low. So when you're doing RTA runs, typically you check it 1 or 2 times, and then you would reset. This is kind of like finding a skip for this would be like the holy grail of Legacy of Darkness. If someone found this, it would shave like a minute and a half off and prevent any RNG in the run.
Yeah. So between now and the Rosa section, there's no moon card otherwise.
The only other one that we can get is from Hydra, which is what we. Oh no, we got a moon card.
Ooh, nice.
2 of them.
Yay! All right.
It's the only one you need for the entire game, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So to get out of this little area that we're in, we actually got really lucky. Dropped some jewels too.
Got some very, very, very good RNG here.
Yeah. So we got our moon card. Did I use it? No, I didn't. Make sure we do that. It'd be kind of a shame to get the moon card then not use it. So for anyone who's familiar with Castlevania Symphony of the Night and what the clock rush is, this is actually very similar at this point. So if you play optimally at max speed, don't miss anything, from the start of using that moon card up to where the cutscene is, you'll actually have a little bit of time left over. So we're going to try to make it as quickly as possible, but if we do well, we can pick up some extra jewels along the way to prevent farming later on, and we don't lose any time by doing that. So Bone Mom is not happy with us, and she's back for round 2, and she brought some new tricks up her sleeve. But this time we have level 3 axes.
So I guess you can teach a Bone Mom new tricks.
Something like that. So we're going to time 2 axe throws. She's going to do that lunge twice. And just timing those 2 axe throws prevents her from doing this shockwave blast on the ground, which is, it's really huge, and it will hit you and knock you down. And then she moves around. Where I'm attacking her from is important too. So you can see she moved to this spot. It's completely scripted where she moves to. So she's going to move to where I am next, so I want her to jump to that position so she doesn't have to walk there.
So it also takes like it also takes 3 hits in order to get her into the next phase, right?
It's 2 hits from level 3 axes and 3 with orcs.
Oh, okay.
So that's why you can start to see already how we're going to start to use axes for the entire round. We got this lovely castle.
If I could take just a moment here.
All right, now we're moving into castle walls. Pretty much we're going to go up each tower. The top of the first one has a boss. And we're going to activate 2 levers that opens up the gateway so we can actually get into the main area. And I was a little slow, so if you're quick enough, you can make it across this and jump across and grab. But we're just going to wait a second, and because we waited like that, we're actually on a good cycle now. We should be able to make all of these. This one will be close.
Yeah. So the RNG is different for this section between Castlevania 64, between vanilla Castlevania 64 and Legacy of Darkness. You were saying it was is it mostly just like the axes and the platforms are just like the same?
It's actually everything. So the only thing that's not is like the guillotines are proximity based, how close you get to them. So it's kind of like set anyways, and all the platforms and everything are on a set pattern going back and forth. Oh, he's still alive. There we go. So that was Hydra. That was another boss. Once again, you're going to see this a lot. Axes kind of just annihilate everything. So I'm going to pick up as many jewels as I can before hitting this switch. Also, the game unfortunately prioritizes picking up items over activating things. So if the Hydra dies in a bad spot, you'll just end up picking up items when you don't want to.
So do cycles activate when you enter a room, or do they activate when you get close enough?
So it's
loaded.
It's based off loading of a zone. So if you go into a zone, for example, like going through this door right here is going to load a whole new area. You'll see some points in Villa where I go through a door. It's not actually loading a new area. It's just a new room that's already loaded. So if it's loading a new area, that's when it starts. I'll kind of point that out later, just to give you an idea. Also, I jump at the last second possible there. That section of like the walkway kind of collapses, and it causes a lot of lag. So you jump the last second possible, so it's collapsing off camera. Save some time. This jump right, oh wow, I actually made it. That's a jump that's usually pretty hard to make, but as you can see, it doesn't really save a lot of time since you have to wait for those platforms to flip anyway. And we're pretty much done here. The other lever is activated during that cutscene, so we now have the entire gateway opened up. Got some cool movement tech right here to get all the way down.
Normally there's another boss up there, isn't there?
No, it's just that one, even
okay.
in CV64. So these dogs normally die from one axe, but their iframes are really odd. So sometimes they don't get hit the way they're supposed to. Both of those took 2 axes. Which is fine though, because if you look at our jewel count, we're maxed out at 99 already.
There's a sequence break here in the vanilla Castlevania 64, but it's not doable on this version because the invisible walls are sky
Much
high.
higher.
Yeah, they're like way higher. So it's like you'd be able to clip through it, but
Yeah, if you do it on emulator, there's something called L to levitate. It's like a cheat you can do like with like a game chart, and you press L and you'll just like fly in the air. And I did that once to test to see how high the walls are, and they're like triple the height they are in Legacy or Castlevania 64. So if you're looking at the clock in the top left corner, the time we're aiming to enter the room that has Rosa is about 3 a.m. So we're probably going to be a little late, but that's all right. We got some extra duels. So pretty much every encounter is they're going to move based on how you move. So if you move the same way and do the same things every time, you'll be able to get a quick kill that's really, really consistent. Actually, we're going to make it there right at 3 a.m. This could be really good timing.
So was that supposed to be a boss right there?
It's a mini-boss, sort of. It's a reoccurring mini-boss we'll see throughout this entire stage. So this is the Rosa cutscene I was talking about. That cutscene only takes place from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. So you have to time a moon card, so when you get there, it's within that little time range. So Villa is pretty much just a series of like small talk to people and go activate things. Right now, this is Vincent. He's apparently a famous vampire hunter. Not really. And we talked to him once to get a key.
Well, it's okay. You're the famous vampire hunter now.
Nice. Yeah, Carrie is a 12-year-old badass who's just gonna go and take down Dracula. So just like before, we're gonna encounter this vampire again. And just like before, we have a set moves to do, and it goes down pretty easy. So this is Archives. Archives is kind of tricky movement-wise. I'm gonna try to do this. There we go. Okay. Because of how the camera moves there, it's like on auto. It's really easy to get like stuck in a corner or run into a pillar. That was actually pretty good. Also, I'm trying to activate these doors as close to like that one was pretty good. When the one before kind of had the walk of shame. Because if you activate it too far from when you actually open it, you kind of have to do this slow walk, and it wastes time. Also, those are the doors I was talking about earlier. So it's loaded this entire villa. However, you'll see me go through this door and actually loads a new zone. So if there was any sort of cycle-based stuff, it would start right there. All right, so we're gonna enter the first major skip of the game right up here in Villa. This is a pretty cool trick. It's one of 2 out-of-bounds tricks in the game, and it saves quite a bit of time. It is pretty tricky though, so I'm gonna probably stay quiet for this, and I'll explain it afterwards. First things first, though, we gotta get through most of the maze. And I haven't talked about movement too much yet, but you'll see me jumping everywhere, and that's because it's faster than walking. And for places like the maze, I'm going to alternate between holding down A for a long jump and then tapping A for a short jump. So I land perfectly at corners so I can do a quick turnaround and keep going. Yeah, these guys are kind of a joke. Unfortunately, though, they come back, so I have to hurry so they don't catch up to me.
So axes in this game are explosive?
Think of it like Thor's axe, I guess. All right.
Just like
This is the thing.
bolt of lightning comes down. Overall, better than Holy Water in this version of the game.
So I need to stand on a specific portion and then... All right, cool, I got it.
got
Yes,
it.
you got
Good.
it.
And is this a trick that only works on the PAL version?
Yeah, so it only works in Legacy of Darkness. Only works as that specific way of doing it only works as carry, and it only works on PAL. So what I did there basically is I stood on a very specific portion of the rail, and I had a pixel perfect position I was looking at on when I was seeing up, so that way I could hit an exact angle.
Yeah, let's line up
Also-
with the left side of the pillar with the letter D. Just like jump right through.
All right, that was perfect.
Oh man.
So that boss, the second boss there, when it gets below half health, it's supposed to like turn into mist, and it has like this invincibility period. But if you're able to kill it before it turns into mist, you avoid that. All right, so now we're in Waterway. Waterway is pretty straightforward. It's just kind of like a lot of jumping. This is kind of the only encounter that you'll see. If you set up these axes right, which we did, then everything dies pretty quickly.
Tail end of the area effect kept that other guy from running away.
Yeah, that last guy has more health than the other ones, so it doesn't actually kill it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to do one more orb.
So it doesn't. So like the AOE still does the same amount of damage everywhere.
Correct.
Okay.
So like the first 2 are probably taken down by the axe itself, since the shockwave and the axe do, I think, approximately the same damage.
So to ask one last question about the flip out of bounds, is the reason that it works only as carry because she has a smaller hitbox?
Correct. So all the characters' hitboxes are different. That skip can be done also as Cornell on NTSC, but you have to do it a different way. Basically, what you're doing there is you're using the urn, like the statue, and you use that small, tiny, it's like 6 pixel space behind it to push you out of bounds. Also, we have some very precise movement. A little bit more talk about movement. You'll see me, I'm taking the jumps like at the last possible second. And that's because I'm trying to avoid grabs like this right here. Like right here, you have to grab, obviously. But it's faster to skip those. So a lot of optimizing this game comes down to making jumps to skip those.
See another such example, like at the very beginning of the stage, he jumped to skip shimmying across the ledge, but you're also running into the wall and like getting max acceleration before jumping, so you wouldn't grab the ledge.
Correct.
Coming around the corner. Yeah.
You have just enough room to do it, so you can kind of like run against like the corner there to buffer it. Also have to wait for the spike platform to go up. So the one that I jumped over first right there on the way back, that one's proximity based, but the other one is cycle based, so you always have to wait for that one.
I have $500 from Program Max. I love CV64 and I'm so hyped to see this game at GDQ. Good luck on the run. Thank you for that generous donation.
That was a little close.
Yeah, so I got really lucky there. Usually it's pretty hard to grab those. All right, so Legacy of Darkness has this exclusive boss, Medusa. I'm gonna try to stun lock her. That one's a little early. So sometimes these snakes can take over my targeting, and I can't actually throw them at her. That was actually still pretty good, though. Okay. We're actually really good on jewels, so I'm not even going to try to pick any up.
So how does the targeting work in this game?
So targeting is completely automatic. It's not like Z targeting in Zelda or anything like that. So basically the game selects, it'll typically prioritize bosses, but if you have an enemy that's right next to you, it'll try to do that. Also, skeletons on motorcycles, that's the only one you'll see. So Castle Center in every other version is typically very long, and there's a lot you have to do. You have to break a seal, and to do that, you have to also basically break the seal on a wall, and do a lot of things. That takes a long time. Or we can just jump in that corner. Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, we just skipped the entire.
Yeah.
The entire section of the game that most people tend to struggle with when they play through Castlevania 64, which is the magical Nitro sequence. So it's completely skippable on PAL Legacy of Darkness by simply colliding into that wall until you just exit.
And it's so pretty much any wall or object, like doors or that wall that can be blown up, are not loaded until you actually enter those rooms. And so the reason that works is those things are down, but triggers like the crystal are still up. So you can still activate them even though you can't see them. Also, this is the bullfight. I'm trying to go for very specific. Okay, we got it. So now he's locked here, and I can just throw axes and look at the ground and wait for time to go by.
Can you only hurt him at certain spots?
So yeah, we can't do any more damage until like all the flesh falls off, as lovely as that sounds. So we kind of just look down to reduce lag. I love the beautiful unloaded zones. All right, this is another boss. This is supposed to be like Carrie's relative. So you're supposed to like fight this from a distance because if you get too closer, she does like this icy cloud attack. But for whatever reason, it doesn't have like, if you point blank range, it won't actually hit you. So you just kind of like move around her and spam orbs in her face. She goes down pretty easy.
Is that strat doable in vanilla Castlevania 64 minus the orb spamming?
You would use orb melees instead.
Oh, okay.
Works
But yeah,
around
it's
the
the same thing.
Otherwise, the same thing. Okay.
And so that is all of Castle Center. So it's pretty quick on this game. All right, now we move on to Tower of Science. And it's actually, the first part's gonna look very familiar for anyone familiar with Castlevania 64. The only difference is instead of it just being kind of like random patterns and stuff, all the patterns are set. So I know exactly how everything's gonna be, and if I do this right, I can just run the whole way. Or jump, I guess. The second half of Tower of Science is actually gonna look very different.
This is actually pretty comfy pace here, because any other time that I've seen runs of Castlevania 64 go through Tower of Science, you actually have to wait for the electric prods to fire off before you can move if you're going to be able to get through it safely. Otherwise, there's like a heavy RNG element to passing it.
So I see that some of the ground is moving. What are those?
So I'm on conveyor belts right now, and you can actually see as I go across this one, they're kind of segmented. So I have to be very careful not to fall in between them, because that will actually insta-kill me. Also, we gotta pause and wait here for the block. What, if we should name that block, what should we name it? What do you guys think? Got a name idea for that block? I think we should call it Tim.
Sure.
All right, cool.
That works.
All right, going with Tim.
We could follow Monty Python and call it Tim the Enchanter.
I'm down with that. And Tower of Science kind of makes sense. Not really.
I mean, there's enough magic in this game, it probably equals the same thing.
So that's kind of funny right there. That gate's supposed to close, and you're supposed to defeat all the turrets before they'll open it. Oh my good lord. So these are fleamen. Let me interrupt myself first so I can talk about these guys. Just like every other Castlevania, they're completely random, and they can just like get in your way. Now we're in aimbot room, which, okay, that actually worked out pretty well.
So they completely redid this this entire section with the turrets. Instead of making it a room where you have to dodge a bunch of turrets and have like a lot of very tight positioning, it's wait,
It's a lot more gauntlet based.
Yeah, it's a little more gauntlet.
This one is kind of inspired. This room right here is inspired by what the original design was in some ways.
Yeah.
So back to what I was saying, that gate that I just kind of like ran underneath. Every other character, I think it's just Cornell actually. What it's supposed to do is it's supposed to go down, and you're supposed to defeat all the turrets before it'll open back up again. But Carrie's so short, she just walks underneath it.
Is Carrie any faster than the other characters? Does that factor into it?
Not really. She's a lot, it's hard to describe it. She's a lot lighter. Because she's shorter, she can actually make a lot of jumps that others can't without grabbing. Because her head goes to the same height as the other characters, so her feet come up higher.
Oh, okay.
So Carrie's got ups. Also, Tower of Science also has a new boss. I can throw the axe while jumping, and even though I'm not targeting it, it'll still hit it. All right, cool. Scary part over.
So would that fast cycle be something that you'd be going for if you're going for PB attempts?
Correct, yeah. There's a very specific pattern of jumps you do and timing of everything. And you only have to wait on one platform if done optimally.
How much time about would that save if you did it optimally?
I'd say 6 or 8 seconds. So saving grabs is like very much an optimizing thing. All right, so this is Actries, and the rule with Actries is don't look at her.
What happens if you look at her?
She raises the crystal blocks, so I try to not look at her when I do this, and I try to stay far away. If you get too close to her, she'll activate those, and after you hit her, she activates them. So you throw one axe, and then throw one shortly after. One to break the crystals, and then one to hit her, and she's down.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We have 150.
And I slide right. You can't see it because it's off the camera, but I slide right there to hit the loading zone just a little bit earlier. It actually displaces your hitbox a little bit lower.
We have
All right.
We have $150 from Kodiak. I had to donate during a run of my favorite series. Put this money to saving the animals.
So now we're in Clock Tower. Oh.
Oh, wow.
So that is one of the very few spots where Carrie can decide, I don't want to grab today. Luckily, though, that is not a very fall height or like high fall, so you don't really take damage. So now we're in Clock Tower, and Clock Tower was revamped pretty hard in Legacy of Darkness, and it's now the longest stage in the game. Done optimally, it's anywhere between 6 minutes and 6 minutes and 30 seconds long.
So I've been noticing throughout the run, when you jump up, you sometimes ledge grab in a couple of different ways. What are the differences between those?
You mean like how I was doing like the short turnaround before jumping?
Yeah, and then before you would just, in some places, you would just jump and grab it almost behind you.
So typically what you want to do is whenever you jump, you want to try to minimize the amount of time you're in the air. So if I were to just jump straight in the air and then go back, I'd be up in the air and have more hang time. So basically what I'm doing there is I'm jumping straight to the ledge, so I'm not going above it first and then coming back down. All right, this is one of two rooms I'm going to call serious time. I can talk a little bit during... So this room is on a giant set pattern, and there's a very large skip I need to do. Luckily, though, these big, huge pillars turn even though I'm like looking at these text boxes, so I get a free safety save right there, just in case. But you can see in this room, I'll do a C-up because I have to wait anyway, so you can kind of see. We have this huge room, and it's segmented into two different areas. I'm trying to go up this side. Normally, you're supposed to go all the way to the top and grab key C to open that door in the bottom left corner, but we're going to try to skip that. And that saves about a minute. Okay. Okay, darn. The good news is we missed the part where we can actually do this again and not have to load a save. But I have a very, very tight jump to make there. I have to make it at the absolute edge. And then from there, I have to climb up and then jump onto the platform that's over the door that you normally unlock key C. Right up here. You'll see me switch to battle view as well, because since there's no enemies around, it just locks the camera into place. Ugh.
That was weird.
Yeah, so sometimes if you press the control stick the same frame that you press the jump button, you side hop.
Nice
and it's
save.
dangerous. So we'll do this a slightly slow way since I was slow coming up, and we'll just wait for it to come around. So normally what you do is, while it's 90 degrees in the other way, you can just barely make the jump onto this platform right here. And now we're gonna go for a GC skip. All right, I got it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Is
that's,
it
that's a
usually-
really tight jump.
Is it always this close on health?
Yes. If you grab, you're always that low on health. If you can just barely make that and land on the platform, and you'll have just a slightly larger chunk of health.
Okay, so you would have needed to, just to be safe, have 100% health when making that jump.
Correct. And actually, I need to heal again. We'll have another damage boost later on. So typically in a run, you only need one roast beef, and that's what heals your health there. That's what I was using from the menu. And you have the other two for safety. The reason you need one is because you take damage there, and there's another damage boost later on in the level, which I'll point out. And you need to be back to full health again. So optimally done, the game only has two menus, one with the moon card and then one with the roast beef in this level. Oh, I jumped too early. That's what we have the safety roast beef for, though.
Okay.
Actually, since we're on this side, I can show off a trick that's kind of not used anymore. A little bit too late, actually. So what you can do is that you can get up on this ledge and you can walk into the fire, and you have kind of like invincibility frames, and you can use that time to jump through the fire up to that ledge that I was trying to get to.
Platforming in this stage is very, very touch and go.
Yeah. And I'm actually, just to save on that last roast beef in case I need it later, kind of an example of this game, there's hidden treats everywhere. Like this little block, I'm gonna break it open, there's a bunch of goodies. And more importantly, it has roast chicken. Chicken's delicious. So chicken only heals half your health, while roast beef heals it entirely. Also, as you can tell, the camera in this area is really bad. But yeah, falling at any time, like, unfortunately loses a lot of time, just because it's all cycle based. So you can't really just go and immediately try to make the same jump. You have to wait for these really slow moving platforms to turn around. Once we got 2 more of these platforms like on the poles, and then we're out of this room. And the good news is I can actually take these fairly slow.
Bit of an oblong angle from that from that camera.
All of these jumps look super scary.
They are all super scary.
Okay.
They are, yeah, no, this
game is very
terrifying.
prone to dying, yeah.
Terrifying, actually.
There's actually a time where the world record for this game had a death.
It's just that difficult?
Yes, dying is very, very easy in this game. Because typically the game's structured around platforming with pits that will kill you. Alright, so we're out of Key C room, and that's probably the scariest room in the entire game. We have one more technical room, and then we're pretty much done with Clock Tower. But the reason for the length, like I was talking about earlier, is mainly because of that room that I was in. There are a lot more rooms in this than in most other stages, but that one room specifically takes about 2.5 minutes done optimally. So back to what I was talking about earlier, I was doing short hops there to line up perfectly so my last jump would land me directly in front of the door. All right. I'm gonna try to just focus here. I'm trying to make a set cycle. So normally you can't make up the slope, but if you jump into it with enough speed, you can make it right up it. Oh, slightly too early. So I want to go for that at least once just to show it off. That is a jump that was found fairly recently, and it's a very, very small window to actually make that. And it's just sort of just recently became RTA viable. We just recently found a setup for it. Also, I haven't talked about it too much though, but I do have to give a huge shout out to a runner named Winglebird. Winglebird found almost all the major skips you'll see in this run, both the out-of-bounds tricks for carry and out-of-bounds tricks for other characters. And that skip I did off the cog was actually something he posted a video about as well. He also found some stuff for CB64, so between those two games, he's kind of like the mad scientist who finds all this stuff.
So it saves like, that cog skip there saves like 10 seconds, you said?
Yeah, roughly. So pretty much all it does, where is my roast beef?
I think you ate it all.
Okay, that's fine. This means we'll have to go the slow way. So it skips having to go across this right here. I'm gonna wait for the fire cycle just to play it safe.
I mean, as they say, better safe than dead.
Yeah. Clock Tower is a very scary place to end the run. All right, so now I'm gonna do something with an audio cue. So I do need silence for a second. Actually, I'm gonna have visual because it's gonna be the torch right here. That's nice. Okay, cool. Awesome. Now Skip's having to wall crawl the other side. One last scary part.
Oh no.
Not nearly as bad as it looks.
Oh god.
Oh gosh.
Don't worry, there was actually a ledge there down below.
I just realized that at like the last second.
Also, these lights on the ceiling, I've always thought they look like hook shots, like spots from like Ocarina of Time. I'm gonna make a safety save here. So normally, I would fly across these moving platforms. I love these, by the way, because you keep your momentum when you jump off of them. And you drop down right here, straight down to the end. But we don't have enough health, so we're gonna go across more really cool moving platforms.
We just get to do a little more sightseeing.
Yep. This is actually the part of the run you'd never see. Also, I hope I remember how to do this.
I like this version of the game. It's like all the levels are more appropriate for CV64's physics engine.
So I need to, you can see this beam sticking out, and I need to slide directly onto that. Okay.
Perfect.
I have no health, so I have to do this very carefully. Okay, we're good. Scary part's over. We're done. So this is the last lever we hit.
Yeah.
So basically, the whole process of this entire clock tower was to hit that one lever. That would be another big skip that was found, because that would skip an entire room. And that moves the clock hand right here that we're walking across to get to the end.
And I see it just restored your health for you.
Yep. So I didn't say that earlier, but every level at the end, it refills your health and clears any statuses. So if you get like poisoned or something like that, it'll clear that as well. And that can actually be important because, as you saw, since I had to refill my health there, it cost some time. So doing stages without losing health is the optimal way to do them. Unfortunately, obviously, that one you'd have to have your health all the way down because you just would do that skip. So we're going, making our way up downtown, and we're gonna go fight Dracula. Dracula has 3 different phases. The first and the second both have pretty interesting RNG. They both die from 6 axe hits.
Those staircases are so iconic, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like in every single Castlevania game, it's always the staircase leading up to Dracula.
I never even thought of that. So Drac 1 has RNG. You'll see that he didn't actually like appear that time. He missed it. Usually, on average, you get 4 to 5 miss, and so far I've gotten 2, 3. Okay. We're gonna save on an axe by getting the last step with an orb. 4. Yeah, so 4. Like I said, 4 to 5 is average. I think the best I ever got was 1. I've actually never seen a 0. So now, basically what happened there is Dracula said he's going to take us down, so now the entire tower is falling. That's not actually what happens, but that's what I like to think. So as I'm going down this, these stairs are collapsing. Normally you'd see it as you're walking down. It's supposed to be like a tense situation, but because jumping is so fast. Fun fact, I fell off that once and lost my run. Just kind of a joke about that in the community. Okay, so he can spawn in a lot of different places. I want him to spawn near me, because if he spawns right next to me, I can get 3 axe hits.
So I'm guessing
And
this is the other
this is
major point
really
of
bad
RNG.
RNG. Yeah, exactly. So it takes 6 hits to kill him, and you can get up to 3 hits. If he spawns far away, typically you can only get 1 hit. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Actually, he gave me a really good spot, so he's now dead.
That's good.
All right, time's coming up. If you stand right in the direct center there, time. I was about to explain it. Woo! If you stand right there in the exact center, he doesn't actually hit you.
This is a wonderful pose.
Got the pose for the headshot.
Yeah. So also, I haven't timed it before. Some of my chat wants me to time it, and I need to do that at some point. But Dracula takes literally forever to die. This whole cutscene lasts a very long time. But while it's going on, this is a game I'm very, very, very passionate about. It has a very small community right now, but if you have interest in this game, like we're like our entire community is like really, really cool. I do want to thank Winglebert and Growth Kazi, who are kind of like my two peers in this game, who've helped optimize this game, find skips and do runs and bring the times down. They're both really great people, and you should check them out as well. If you're interested in this game, we do have a Discord. You can hit us up on Twitter, all three of us. Be more than happy to help you out. And that's pretty much it for Carrie.
We also have the donation incentive for the Henry Anypercent run, so we are going to have to set up for that. And we'll have that back in just a moment.
Surprise, we're back. So the donation incentive was met, and I'm really glad you guys did this. So you guys get to see a short category known as Henry. And for anyone who's been around a little bit longer, Henry was actually showcased in SGDQ 2014. And a lot's changed since that run. Previously, when the run was done last, the run was about 16 minutes. And since then, we brought the time down to 14:15. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So whenever we're ready to go. All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is Henry. His story takes place while Carrie and Reinhardt are defeating Dracula. So he kind of follows behind them, and he has 7 days to find 6 children and steal their candy before Dracula's castle collapses. On a serious note, though, so you go in and you rescue 6 children. And this was supposed to be kind of like a bonus thing, a side character, so to speak. And as you rescue kids, you unlock alternate costumes for the other characters and such.
Yeah. It's got very, very fast running speed. I'm guessing gun on B, sword on C left.
Yes. So he's got gun on B. He has a revolver, like a 6-shooter, and has 6 bullets before it needs to reload. You'll see me do this thing where I'm going to swipe my sword after the 6th shot, and that automatically reloads my weapon. It's kind of a little weird, funky glitch. So Bomb Bomb again. She's back. And I'm going to go for something very specific with the gunshots. You fire the first one, and you wait for the target to come back. And I wait for a specific spot to start firing to get all the shots to actually land. All right, so I missed 1 bullet there. So if you time the... Basically, I'm mashing the button when I start the last 5 shots, but I need to start that at a specific time in order to land all 5 shots. Otherwise, 1 misses. And unlike Carrie, I actually want these skeletons to spawn. Because since you start straight and Force of Silence, I'm going to be 1 power-up short of, like, power-ups you can straight up find. So to get to level 3 power-up, I kind of have to hope for RNG to drop 1 from the skeleton. Unfortunately, the drop rate from skeletons is very, very low. So we probably won't see one.
So they
I don't think we've seen one yet.
scaled that back in Legacy of Darkness. The drop rate is a lot higher in CV64, I think.
Yes.
They just had to make your life harder for you, didn't they?
Yeah. So the cool thing for Henry is we don't need any sub-weapons. Pretty much his gun's so versatile and can be used in so many situations. He can just use the gun. Also, you saw I actually had to grab the lever from the right side.
Yeah, it's like
I couldn't go from the right
you
side.
went for the carry strap for a second, and it's like, wait, readjust.
Okay. So right there, you might have caught it real quick with the sound effects, but the sword actually hit him 3 times, even though I only swung it twice. That's because the sword's out for so long. The hitbox can actually hit twice, or register twice on an enemy, if done correctly.
So I saw you got a power-up there. Was that one you were expecting?
Yes, that is the 1 set power-up that I can get in the run. So we have a tunnel skip that's similar to the one that we did with Carrie, but this one instead, I have to go get a kid, so I got to do one this way. There we go. And that brings us down to 1 HP. So probably on stream it looks like I have no HP.
It looks like you have no HP
just-
here
yeah.
too.
It's like 1 pixel, literally 1 pixel.
So at this point, if I get hit by anything in the game, it will kill me. So that being said, in a normal RTA run, I would fight the next boss like this. But with 1 power-up on Bomb 2, each phase takes 5 bullets out of 6, and landing all those shots without getting hit is very difficult. So I'm going to grab this backup roast beef, and we're going to heal up. Because as much as I'm sure you guys loved Force the Silence, I don't think you want to see it again. All right, so let's talk a little bit about moon cards and sun cards. So kind of similar to Carrie with Rosa in the cutscene there. At the end of the 3rd stage, Henry's going to have a coffin he jumps into. And based on the time of day it is, there's 3 different destinations he can go to. So I'll be using those to manipulate which stage I go to. Also, you notice I was doing shots at point-blank range. Something called shotgun strats. Okay, I got 4 shots out of 6. So if I didn't heal there, I would have died. So that's something called shotgun strats, going back to that. If you fire at something point-blank range, it does double damage. Unfortunately, the only place you can do it on for Bomb is on its arm. And since it's now blown off, that strat's completely out the window at this point.
Is the refire rate on Henry's gun, is that tied to how many projectiles he fires on screen, or is that tied to like recovery animation?
What is?
Like when you fire Henry's gun, like is there a recovery animation before you can fire again, or does it limit you to the number of projectiles?
It's
screen?
limited to 6. So you fire 6. So I'll let it reload this time actually. So I fire 6, and then you have this reloading animation like that.
Oh, okay.
And you normally skip that by swinging your sword.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm sure that probably describes it a lot better. So we're going to use the point-blank shots right here. And that takes 3 instead of 5. So you'll notice from here on out, Henry's a little bit different. So since Carrie and Reinhardt have already run through all the stages, everything's open at this point. It's all open-ended. And you have 7 days to find as many kids as possible. Fortunately for speedrunners, that's pretty easy to do in 7 days. We'll do it in about a day and a half. So the only reason that we'll delve into any levels, like for example this one, I could have walked straight forward and got straight to Villa. But we're going to delve into it a little bit just to save the kid.
So for this run, you are actually...
Okay. That's actually not super bad because we're going to restart from that stage. And at this point, there's only 2 more enemies in the game I'm going to actually have to fight. So that's actually not a very costly death. As long as you get past Bone Mom, there's not many enemies you have to kill with the gun. At this point, it's pretty close to just platforming.
So as I was going to ask, do you actually save all of the 7 children? You do not skip any of them?
All 6, yeah.
Oh, 6.
So the reason for that is once you save the 6th child, the credits start, and that's the end of the run. So that's kind of how it works.
Okay.
Technically, so if you want to be real technical, this is Henry Good ending. There is another Henry category that's kind of a meme. That's called Henry Bad Ending. And the only thing you do in that run is you start the run, you get as many moon cards and sun cards as humanly possible, and you go straight to day 7, and you get the credits. And you end with this lovely scene of Henry going off into the sunset with no children. Also, you see me using some backup strats. 6 shots from my gun isn't enough to actually kill these dogs now. So I combo double hits with the sword after I exhaust all my shots to keep them from attacking me.
So basically, Henry Bad Ending is Henry left his empathy at home for the day.
Yes.
Like long walks on the beach and leaving children to die in the castle.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, as you can see, this fight without power-ups is pretty bad. Oh, hey, look, power-up. This fight without power-ups is pretty... I've never seen that before.
Did it just blow up or something?
Okay, so since we have a power-up, that went a little bit faster. I think fire, the hitbox was there, but it didn't actually load because I killed it quickly enough, so I got hit by something that wasn't actually there. So that's if you rub against that platform, you don't have to jump on the small lip before you go all the way up. And this is the Sun and Moon card that we're going to grab to time which levels we go to at the end of Coffin. So we're going to go this way. Since everything's unlocked, it's quicker to go this way than go through the entirety of the villa. Also, for all you fans that like the skeletons on motorcycles, lucky for you, we have 3 more down this hallway.
They were radical in life and they're radical in death.
I like it. Also, this one's kind of cool. This one has a sidecar. But I don't like the driver. So if you take out the driver as you're walking by, you can hear the motorcycle crash in the background as you keep going. That's what I was trying to do. Oh, well. Maybe another time. So we got to do some pretty heavily optimized movement through the maze, doing very specific jumps just like Carrie, and find this kid. And now we just go straight to the stage end. This is a pattern that's going to kind of repeat as we go into every stage. We find the kid and then we exit. So at this point, we've saved 3 of the kids. Also, you notice there's no gardener. If you go to the other side of the maze, the gardener, you can actually see the gardener inside a fenced-in area actually tending to the gardens. And the gardener is the dude that we saw for half a second as Carrie with the giant chainsaw for an arm.
So, like, occasionally he actually gardens instead of tries to garden you.
Exactly. You have to sneak up on him, though. If you go through the wrong door, he'll just attack you. So there's no boss fight here. Like I said, everything's cleared out. There are optional bosses that you can go fight, but that's a different category. So based on the time of day it is past 8 a.m., so now we're going to go start with Waterway. All right, that jump's possible, but it's extremely precise. And if you get it too far to the right, you'll actually jump to that portal, which I don't want to touch because it takes me back to Villa in front of the coffin.
Okay, so that allows you to warp back to previous areas then?
Correct. So we'll be using that on the way out after we save the child. Waterway is kind of boring. If we have any donations, this would be a good time for it.
All right, we've got $20 from Randy Brunston from Dusty Case Gamers. Way to go, Slucky, on making it to SGDQ and supporting this wonderful event. From all of us at DCG, this donation goes to Runner's Choice.
Yo, thanks. So DCG is a bunch of my close friends that do gaming together, and they really mean a lot to me. They're super supportive of my speedrunning.
We have $250 from Dehumanizer. It says, Castlevania boys, I double this donation if Carcinogen does the Carcy Sync IRL.
Ow! Are you okay there?
Ow!
I'm so glad that just happened.
Ow! Ow, dude.
You all right?
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Are you still in one piece there, or did you break in half, sort of?
Almost.
And,
So by the way, we're in Outer Wall now.
and Carcy, just to add insult to injury, $5 from Rin the Cat. Hey, Carcy, you forgot your wallet at home when you went to SGDQ. I'm donating on your behalf. I'm sure you'd want to save the animals.
Thanks, buddy.
So this kid's in kind of a weird spot. I don't know how they got there. Also, I didn't bring up earlier, but if you notice, I save the kids by talking to them, and then I leave them in whatever position they're in. So right here, I go to grab that ledge and then fall down, and that prevents me from taking fall damage, which saves just a little bit of time.
Whew. That actually really hurt. I'll be fine.
Need some water?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's cool.
Do we need to find one of the doctors?
All right, so now we're in tunnel. And you'll notice that when I first started that area, it looked like I was jumping, and on the there's like I want to say it's like 10 frames. It's a pretty wide window. You can jump out of the starting position. You normally just fall straight down into tunnel. So tunnel's kind of a long stage. It's supposed to be kind of a maze as you make your way through. This is also the home to the biggest skip for Henry, which I'll be trying to go for at least once, but it's a pretty tight jump. So as you saw with the big swinging swings, if you were here for the carry run, momentum transfers over in this game. And because of that, you can do a skip. Hold on, I gotta do the scary bridge.
Nice.
That scares me. It doesn't matter how many times I do that. So because momentum transfers, you can make a jump that's not normally possible. So for anyone that's familiar with Reinhardt, or maybe has possibly seen around this before, we're going to be riding this red platform, and at like an interim station, we'll switch to a blue one. And this skip actually keeps us from even waiting for that blue one. We're going to ride the red one all the way through and make a really, really tight jump. I didn't save. We're going to go do that first. Luckily, there's a save crystal right here.
So does the game give you back health each time you enter a new level?
Yes.
Okay. So you wouldn't be running around with 1 health the whole run?
No, that'd be terrible. That'd actually keep you from... No, you could do this jump, actually. It would be terrible. Actually, now that I think about it, it would be possible, because there's no more damage boosts after that one that you do. It would just be really, really rough. All right, so a bit of an auto-scroller here. If we have donations, go ahead.
Sure thing. We've got $10 from Irish Rose. Hey guys, Castlevania is my husband's favorite series, so it's only fit to donate during this run. Love him and love GDQ. Let's put this to save the animals.
So this is a station right here where you normally wait for the blue platform. That's slow, so we're not going to do it. I'll explain this trick a little bit more after I do it. In the meantime, we're just kind of going through an auto-scroller and making sure these enemies don't knock us off the platform.
Have you ever played Star Wars Shadows of the Empire before, Slucky?
I have not. All right, hold on. I got it. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Actually, we're saving, so I don't have to do that again. Unfortunately, I stepped on the elevator. So anyway, you're saying Star Wars?
Oh, I was just asking if you played before. I don't know. It's just like one of the levels.
Similar to this?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So blue platform skip is also PAL only, right?
Correct. Yes, it's PAL only. And that's just because the platforms actually move faster in PAL. The reason I saved here is because this jump's actually pretty easy. But sometimes Henry, I'm glad I saved. Henry just decides not to grab and fall straight into the water.
Not the right time to take a swim.
All right, I'm gonna do it a little bit slower this time to make sure we make it. There we go.
Seriously, that looked way more innocuous than some of the crazy jumps you've done.
Yeah, it looks scary because the camera's not focused on you, but it's actually not super bad. All right, we got one more real close water section, and then we're done. So we do a blind jump onto a rock. As soon as we get off this last ledge, there we go. Okay, now I can no longer die. We are done. So the last thing we have to do is the last kid is trapped behind a moon card door. For the longest time, we had trouble finding a moon card throughout those stages that was quick to get and beat the game quickly. And this was found about 4 months ago. There's been a moon card here the entire time, and we did not know for about 3 years. And that saves about 6 seconds. All right, time's coming up. Time. All right, and that was Henry. Thank you for watching.
All right, thank you so much, Slucky. Got a couple donations before you get off the stage here. $10 from Tiderium. Yo, Slucky, good luck on the run tonight. Make the carry runners proud. Original MES is $25. I'm always happy during SGDQ week and glad to help out such a great cause. Excited to see Slucky run Castlevania. Good luck, Steven. $50 from Cetra Blues. So happy to see some love for Legacy of Darkness. You're the man, Slucky. Please show us how it's done. $20 from Ted Danson's. First time donation here, and I've been watching GDQ since I accidentally stumbled upon the Awful Games block in 2012. Shoutouts to Carcinogen SDA on the couch and his casual Silent Hill playthroughs. We have $5 from MASH. Unleash the bees! Nice to have caught your run, Slucky, and yo, Carsey, don't sink before you swim. Can't wait to see my boy Fingerquick do JSRF next. And we have another $250 from Dehumanizer. Give half of this to Carcinogen for the therapy bills. Sorry, dude. And we have an anonymous $25 donation, but I think you'll be able to tell who it's from. Great to see you, Slucky Andrew. Love, Mom. Watching from London this morning. We have a number of donations from folks who were kind enough to send their money but didn't send a comment. TDROL gave $10. Sparrowhawk gave $20. Riagas gave $25. Focalcacog gave $50. And we actually had two $150 anonymous donations. Thank you very much for all of those. Please know you don't have to leave a comment when you make a donation, but if you do, we will be glad to read it on the air. We are getting set up at the moment for JSRF, Jet Set Radio Future, Anypercent run by Fingerquick. That'll be coming up here in a few minutes. In the meantime, we're just going to continue to read some of the donations that have come in over the last hour or so. Jari S. Donated $10. Said, this is for those skeletons with motorcycles. Gotta love Castlevania. Greetings to all speedrunners. Awesome gaming, everyone. We have $50 from Guiltless and Saki. We just had to donate during Castlevania Legacy of Darkness, also known as hardcore 12-year-old skipping through Dracula's castle and rearranging the place. We have $50 from Winine. First year watching live. Big thanks to everyone involved. You're all the best. We have $10 from Orca Boy. Hey guys, love this stream so much. I started watching winter of 2015 when it was blowing up the Twitch homepage. Was curious what it was and loved it ever since. It's always something to look forward to during the seasons. This is my second Twitch donation ever, so I had to make it special. Here's to many more awesome SGDQ and AGDQs, and of course, tacos. Captain JPC donates $10 and says, I look forward to this every year. Thanks so much for shining such a great light on the community as well as positive organizations. Crazy for Fire donated $10. Third time watching SGDQ, first time donating. Great cause. Happy to know there is something like this being done. Kill the animals, save the frames. And on that note, just want to give you a little bit of an update on the Save the Animals versus Kill the Animals bid war. Right now, Save the Animals is up by almost $750. There's a couple other bid wars going on for a game that's coming up in just a couple of hours. Try Rush Deppy. There are 2 bid wars, one for the file name and license plate, and one for just the license plate. If you'd like to get your bids in for those, we'll have probably about another 3 hours or so before those will be closed. I also want to bring everyone's attention to a prize that went live during the Castlevania Legacy of Darkness run, and it will be open all day today, July 4th, through to the end of the Half-Life 2 run, and this prize is a PlayStation 4 Pro with a copy of Final Fantasy 15, and you will be entered to win that if you donate a cumulative $50 during the course of today. We're going to take about 60 seconds to play a Twitch ad. We'll see you back here in just a minute. All right, everybody, we are back. In addition to the PS4 Pro, all donations this week will be counted towards the cumulative $150 donation level for the GDQ Custom Corsair PC prize. And that runs through the entirety of Summer Games Done Quick between now and the end of the Earthbound run. While they're still getting set up here, I'll read a few more donations. Dalek Zek donates $50, comments, my usual $50 while watching a GDQ. We have $25 from Hey There, Tyler. If you could read this, I'd like to make a shout out to the Jet Set Radio Live for keeping the Jet Set Radio community alive and strong. Good luck to the runner, and I hope you get to eat some birthday cake. Donation goes to Announcer's Choice. Los Vez, probably pronouncing that right, donates $50. Thanks, AGDQ. Now I have to pull my N64 out of storage. ISRU92 donates $20. Jet Set Radio! Absolutely had to donate during my favorite game of my childhood. I will donate an additional $5 every time everyone's favorite song, Birthday Cake, plays during the run. Best of luck to the runner. We have $50 from Tiga. This is the most I've ever been able to donate for a GDQ thus far. Having a fairly stable job changes things, so here's to that. And here's to you awesome people doing this for a great charity. I'm sending good luck to all of you since I've gotten some luck this summer. Cheers. We have $50 from Mana Senshi. Loved watching SGDQ this year. Amazing to see the skill from these players and looking forward to the upcoming events. Please don't break my heart. Save the animals. We also have a $50 donation from Lofty. No comment, but thank you very much for that donation. All right, I'm getting word that we are ready to go with Jet Set Radio Future.